think a personal fear of like my own commitment level and my own motivation to finish things, pursue things, like the intention behind doing things that really does seem to always stem back to money. And this is a thought I was having in the shower, was this isn't just my fear, this is a collective. This is a collective piece, a collective motivator that we've been conditioned and programmed with, and then conditioned and programmed with fears that we will be lazy and unproductive and unsuccessful without the motivation of being financially invested in something to a point that it hurts, or basically that like not wanting for money will make it so that we don't pursue what we want in life, or so that we don't become productive members of society, that will be entitled, arrogant sons of bitches, you know? And I was thinking about that a lot, how much that mentality is pervasive from the time that you're like a kid, right? And we're put into schools and kind of programmed with that, not with money at first, but with similar type things, like with grades. Like all of it is motivated by the grades and doing things in a certain prescribed way that has been predetermined and pre-decided by someone else of what the standard is that shows that you're learning something. And I'm just not behind that anymore. I don't think I've ever been behind that, but I think I have subscribed to that mentality, and it's kind of wild. Like, it's just kind of wild because isn't it supposed to be about the learning? Like, I personally am experiencing in my schooling right now getting penalized for advocating and speaking the truth of what helps me learn the best, and being supported in that way. It's like I have to jump through all of these other hoops and make it harder for myself and be more financially invested and like punished in that way or disciplined in that way, to like prove my commitment by being more financially invested, by either having to pay more to take a new class, if I miss a lecture, or if I don't finish and complete a makeup assignment on time for a predetermined, pre-prescribed way of being. And the thing is that it's a combination. I feel a sense of respect for other I guess prescribed curriculums, and those predetermined things are for, I have respect for them because that is that establishment's boundaries of what they need to have happen and what they've decided to have happen that is okay and not okay within their premises. And if you choose to join that, then you are in effect choosing to learn that way. The sad part is that I don't, while I respect that, I don't feel like it is about the learning at that point. It's still coming out of this like this fear-based mentality, that someone is not invested enough and won't be invested enough if they're not like hurting in some way. And that's just like, I'm so fucking resistant to that, because it's pervasive, like in so many areas and so many things, like for example, working and jobs, and it is genuinely true. Like most people, if they had the option and they knew that they would be financially taken care of for the rest of their lives, would they do the job that they get paid to do every day at work? No, they probably wouldn't. Most people would probably not do that anymore. They would not subscribe to, like, how many people do you know, including yourself, that has said things like, because I just heard this the other day from my uncle, that have said things like, oh, well, I can't afford to retire by the time I hit the age I'm supposed to retire, so I'm going to keep working past that. I literally know so many people that have that mentality. But then if you ask them on the reverse, well, if you were, like, hypothetically, if you were financially taken care of, totally good, what would you do about your job? Like, would you still work? And they'd be like, heck no, like, absolutely not. So I think there's this fear in society that, like, keeps us in this loop, keeps us trapped in this, and I don't have the solution or the answer to this. I'm just thinking about these things and why the world runs the way it does right now. And we are meant to stay in that fear loop, because society as we know it would not run and would not function and would not have people working all the different types of jobs that need to be worked to continue to live in the comforts and the way that we've, like, made the world run right now. It would all change. It would all crumble, if everybody was taken care of, financially speaking, and was not in want and was not in lack and was not working to pay the bills, right? And working to afford retirement so that they could enjoy. There's, like, this incentive. It's like the carrot that's dangled at the end of the road is, like, that you can retire and enjoy your life in your old age. That's the biggest piece of crap I've ever heard, ever, in my life, is that we are supposed to wait until this golden age at the very end of our life to experience a lower and a lesser as we get paid less, right? We're supposed to be living off of Social Security and 401ks that we've been investing in already and all of these other things. And if you don't do that, if you don't prepare and set aside things for your retirement, then you will never be able to stop working. How many people do you know that are working well into their 60s, well into their 70s, well past their retirement ages, and they're working at, like, gas stations and grocery stores, and there's nothing wrong with any of that. There's nothing wrong with what they are doing to make ends meet. It's sad, though, that they are having to make ends meet. And then looking at the system that this amazing system that we've worked out for so long, our generation, the generation before us, even our parents' generation, is not going to be living off of Social Security checks. There's going to be no more of that. So then what? This system is already crumbling because it's not sustainable. Because people aren't living from their true heart center. They're numbed. They're asleep. They're dead men walking. Like, and we praise them for it. We deny unconditional love and acceptance and belonging, and then breadcrumb people with praise and love and affection for all that they do, and for the money that they make, and for the success, the perceived success and perceived value that they have. How twisted is that? And this generation, the one that previous generations are looking at and seeing are so lazy, they're not lazy. They're just in fucking awe of that this is how society runs, that this is what I have to look forward to in my life, is the more of the same. And resisting that. Because that's not how it's meant to be, and they know that, they feel that. They're too strong and too perceptive and to unsee that. And to know that they deserve and are worth more. Does that mean that they have the answers? Not necessarily. I think the only way that we find answers is collectively starting to wake up to this, is collectively starting to understand on an innate, soul awakened level, heart awakened level, that this is not how we are meant to be living. Not at all. We are all meant for more. And the scary ass thing to face with all of that, to wake up to that, there's a fear that comes with it, and it is a very real reality situation that will come. Just as anything else, you wake up to something, you have to face the fear that's associated with it. And the fear is that our society will crumble as it currently is, and it will. Isn't that the whole fucking point? That this is what's not working? That this is what is asinine to even be considering continuing for another generation, and the one after that, and the one after that? Absolutely not. And this generation will not stand for it. This generation is too woke, whatever you want to say, to stand for that. And they're already finding new creative ways. But then comes the question, well, who's gonna take out my garbage? Who's going to run the landfills? Who's going to be the cleaning service? And who's going to work the car washes? Who's gonna work the gas stations? Who's gonna yada, 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 yada? I don't know. That's not for one person to decide. That is for all of us to collectively use our minds and our hearts together to decide. I don't think it's coincidence that technology has come around. I don't think it's coincidence, and people are so worried about technology replacing work, like replacing people's jobs, resisting the very thing that could be what liberates everyone. Resisting the very thing that could be the liberating factor and the liberating piece. The only reason that people are as successful as they are now is because we have had technology advance so much, in the way that we have grocery stores. We are no longer working all day, every day to gather and to hunt and to procure our food and water and meet our basic survival needs, and to build shelter every time that a storm comes. We are where we are because we have allowed technology to support our livelihood, to get us out of that survival state. And our ancestors are thanking us for it. Our ancestors are proud of us for it. They want us to be living in this abundance and to heal ourselves, our lineage, and past and future generations. That's what they want to have happen. That's what we should be wanting to have happen and to embrace. It's fucking hard, and it's scary to face the reality of a collective crumble of the world and the way that we see it. We've already experienced it, though. We've already experienced that type of uprooting and that type of change with the worldwide pandemic. No one could have anticipated how much that would have affected them personally and on a collective level. Are we better for it? I think some would say yes and some would say no, depending on what their personal experiences are. But I do know that the world, at a very neutral level, the world has shifted in a way that no one could have said was even possible. Like, things have changed because of that experience in the world that no one would have been able to, like, no one would have been like, this is even possible, that the world and the collective humanity would shift in this way all together at the same time. That was not anticipated. But it happened. And it's continuing to happen. So those are my thoughts today. And they're big and they're broad. They're meant to provoke and stir what is already there within. Because I have the sense that there are so many that feel these stirrings happening as the world shifts, as the frequency of the earth continues to grow and to elevate. We naturally shift with that. We naturally shift with the moon and the planetary cycles. We naturally shift with other people embodying their soul love and their soul frequencies and embodying their full truth and their full hearts. That is what is meant for this new and upcoming beginning. So allow yourself to feel the feelings and allow yourself to feel the stirrings and feel the call to just think a little more, to just think a little deeper. And I think that we will all, and I feel that we will all be a whole hell of a lot better off for it. In the short term and in the long term.